When people think about intersections, you often think of one or two things kind of coming together, but for me, the intersections look much more like this. They're complex, and for any of you who are working, and all of you in REBs and administrative roles, if you're working with community-based research, specifically in Indigenous context, you probably feel like you also are working in these intersections and really have no understanding of how to work through some of these new challenges that are being posed with the changes in policy and governance structures within our communities. So the context then for what I'll talk about today, first of all, as an Indigenous person who also is an academic, who also does this kind of work for a living, we often feel very precarious in between these different worldviews. In academia, we certainly don't fit 100% of the time because we have this different kind of community way of understanding. And then in our communities, we often also feel that same tension of not quite fitting there anymore. So when you're working with Indigenous communities or researchers who are engaged in Indigenous work, it's important to recognize that even just on a personal level, that conflict or that tension of the intersection can actually be quite profound. And one of the bases for all of the work that happens in Indigenous communities that is so different from most other academic research is this idea that all of our relations are all of our research. It's all connected. And so while, of course, a research project has to be specific in that it has a question that you answer and you can't possibly look at every single other variable in the world, it's important for us all to recognize that if we're working with Indigenous people, that's how we think. That's how we operate. It's not separate. The animals, the plants, as we heard at the beginning, it's all connected. So for us to artificially compartmentalize those pieces to do a research project and then I wonder why no one wants to participate. I wonder why I didn't get the things I wanted. It's because we're looking at it from such a narrow focus. And so one of the ways then that we're trying to kind of tackle that challenge is with this concept of two-eyed seeing.